What's up, guys? Today on Rebels Off-Road, we are taking out our clutch, sending it out to JBS Performance to have the full run of upgrades done to it for our 35-inch tires. A while back ago, we did some videos on performance upgrades to see what the effect is on the Kawasaki KRX. This is going to be continuing that series. We are going to be doing the clutch mods from JBS, the reduction and the springs and all of that. You will see what exactly the performance improvement is. So we had an opportunity to ride with JBS, actually tested out his machine and rode in his machine, actually got to drive his machine over some rocks and stuff in a creek bed and in a field, and was just overall impressed with it. So I wanted to see what it could do on my machine. So that's what we're doing today. Gonna go ahead and start taking apart the clutch, show you how to do that, how to package it up and send it out to JBS for his upgrades. Stay tuned, smash that like button and subscribe for more great content. We're gonna get into this video. Today I have my shop assistant here with me, hanging out. Say hi.
Dad, please shut up.
A little camera shy. So we're gonna go ahead and first step is to take off the clutch cover, pull the clutches. The first thing we're gonna need is a 10mm socket to go ahead and pull that clutch covers. And I like to use this Milwaukee right angle ratchet. It makes it a lot easier. Break these loose. Gonna remove this little guard down here as well. This guard fits up like that. And so there are 3 bolts to get it loose. One right there, and one right there. And those are also 10mm. And if you do it on the ground, the cover, you'll be able to just maneuver out like this. So next, we're gonna wanna remove this cage bolt. The first 2 are nuts. They're 12mm. There's one right up in there. Don't know if you can see it with the lighting, but it's back up in there. And then the next one is down in there. We are going to be using an extension with a 12mm socket to fit up in there. First, you can substitute the ratchet with a regular socket wrench. This just makes my job a little bit easier. And they may fall down in there, but we'll retrieve them after we get this cage off and the clutch off. So no worries about the nut falling down. Next ones we're gonna wanna remove are right in here between the 2 clutches and right down there, also between the 2 clutches. And that one is also a 10mm, I believe. Yep, 10mm. So what we're gonna do is put this on our extension and get those ones off too. And those are actually bolts, so they're small, long bolts. All right, so with those out, we can now pull the cage off of the clutch. Slide straight out. And it goes out the same way as the cover did. Now here is where a lot of people will go ahead and spread the clutch to remove the belt. And you would do that by putting in your clutch spreader bolts into these 3 holes here and spread apart the clutch, and you can take apart that belt. However, there is an easier way, and that is to just go ahead and loosen up this nut, or bolt rather, and remove the whole thing as one assembly, and that way the belt comes off. Yeah? You think that's a better way? She likes that way better. So then you can remove the whole thing as one assembly. Now these are heavy, so you know you don't want to drop them. Definitely want to have your hands positioned correctly so they don't fall and get damaged, but just a little bit easier to not remove the belt. It's just one step less. So since we're gonna remove both of them anyways, might as well remove both of them at the same time. So for this one, it is a 24 millimeter, and then for that one, it is a 19 millimeter. So we're gonna break out the big boy impact to get these off. And you just wanna remember, this one is actually reverse threaded. Now we can remove this whole assembly together. So we want to do this very carefully so we don't drop any of the clutches, because that would result in damage. I have to wiggle a little bit. They will come out like that. And then get the belt out of the way. That one. These belts are directional, so if you take them off, well, I shouldn't say they're directional. The G-Boost belt is omnidirectional, so you can install it either way. However, once you have it installed and worn a little bit, when you go to reinstall it, you want to reinstall it in the same orientation, because then it's become a directional belt. So what I like to do is have the words facing me from the top side. You can kind of read the G-Boost words there and letters, numbers there. Just wanted to note that because there's a lot of confusion when it comes to the belt. Are they directional? Are they not? Technically, they are not directional, but once you worn it into the sheaths, then you want to make sure that you put it back in the same way so it's mated up to that surface really nicely. So we have the primary and the secondary clutch. You can tell mine's a little dirty. Blew it out before the last ride, but they get so dusty and dirty, especially if you're riding behind people. We are going to go ahead and package these up, get them over to JBS, have him work his magic, and get them back to us. That's right, it's finally here.
It came! It finally came!
Super excited to get into this box, check out the clutch, see what's been done to it, get it on the machine, and test it out.
Did somebody say testing?
Nerd alert!
So I know everyone doesn't have the YouTube magic of the flick to get products to them quickly. Probably gonna be asking me, how long realistically does it take to get this clutch completely door to door? So I sent out the clutches and I sent them UPS ground. You gotta package them up really carefully and stuff like that. And it took about 3 to 4 days for shipping of UPS ground. And then JBS takes about 7 to 10 business day turnaround is what he advertises, and then another 3 to 4 days, shipping back to you. So what did that actually add up to? So calculate this up. It was 3 weeks and 2 days door to door. So from the moment I dropped it off to the moment I received it was 3 weeks and 2 days, which if I did my math right is pretty much in line with what he promises, 7 to 10 business days turnaround time. And so counting for UPS, that is right in line with what I would expect, about 3 weeks-ish, give or take a couple of days from door to door. And so I went with the whole shebang, the full lineup, everything he has to offer for the clutch. We're gonna go ahead and open up the box and show you what's in the contents right now. Super excited to get into it. All right, let's go ahead and open it up. I think I might have to sharpen up my T-square. Ooh, free installation. Oh my God. Wow! You see that? That looks like a completely different clutch. Nice. Some koozies, I love it. All right, let's go ahead and open this guy up. This is crazy. Wow. I don't know if you're seeing this, but this looks brand new. Brand new. This is the secondary. Look at the sheaves on it. Nice. Okay, so. Primary with the JBS clutch weights that we had before. You can see they are wearing very nicely, nice and smooth. The rollers still look good. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get this box out of the way and show the clutching closer. Okay, so check this out. Man, that looks brand new. See, very, very little wear on those weights. And you can see our setup. Nothing about that has changed, except that the primary spring is removed. These sheaves are machined with the reduction. This secondary, have his new secondary spring on there. Excited about that. That's supposed to grip the belt better and allow the belt to wear less and have less slippage, which is always good for rock crawling and just in general. You don't want your belt slipping. So that's the thing, right? If this clamps on the belt tighter, it causes less slip, which in turn causes less belt wear. We're having some issues with the Badass belt wearing pretty quickly with the rock crawling and stuff that we do. So a little bit extra wear time would be great. Already know the very first question on your mind is, did it come with a sticker? Well, I am very happy to say it came with these koozies, which I thought, oh, that's awesome, right? But look what is in one of these koozies. 1, 2, 3, 4 JBS stickers. And if you've seen these JBS stickers, you know we like them. They're holographic. So we're gonna go ahead and put some on our machine. I think he said they're good for 5 horsepower each. I'm not sure, honestly. But they definitely add some horsepower. So definitely gonna be putting them on our clutch cover to add that additional power. All right, so we've seen what's in the packaging. We've seen how beautiful and new these clutches look. Let's get them on the machine. I'm not gonna show you really the installation because, well, we showed the uninstallation and it's just the reverse of that. So we're gonna go ahead and skip right to the testing, the good stuff, what you've been waiting for right now. We're gonna be conducting our test on High Point Church Road. There's a really nice flat section over there in which I think we could get it up to speed.
I thought you said you were gonna be honest.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Besides the cage, which we're working on right now, there hasn't been much updates on the KRX performance-wise. We still have the 35-inch tires. We still have the dyno jet tune. We still have the same Badass belt, which if anything, that's gonna hurt us here because we did notice some slipping on that belt, rock crawling recently, and so that belt's probably near its end of its life. We'll see how it performs. Same spark plugs, that's another one. It's been a while since we last tested. The spark plugs haven't been changed. The air filter hasn't been cleaned. There's a lot of things maintenance-wise that we could have done before this test to skew the results. We're not doing that. All right, notice we have the exact same course here in Mexico as we did in the last test. So this is not to say that this is perfectly even road. I never claimed that. However, it is the same direction, same setup, same test every single time. Every modification we make, it's the same one. We will at least be able to see the difference that the performance mod makes across all of the modifications that we end up doing. And that will give you an idea if it makes it slower, faster, what type of performance upgrade you can expect or downgrade you can expect, because we're gonna just show the results. There's not gonna be any, oh, well, it's better because whatever. This is a pure performance test. Nothing to do with longevity, nothing to do with anything else but performance, and that's the results we're showing. Now, I will make observations such as, you know, if it feels different, the drivability is different, stuff like that, but we're gonna show the actual data. We're gonna be take one of our tests with the JBS clutch mod and his secondary spring. Start the camera, and we'll be ready to rip. This is the second run. So we got a couple runs in, got the data from that, and now we are gonna tune up the clutch even further, see if we can get a little bit more power out of it and with the tuning of the clutch. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now, and then we're gonna go back to testing and gathering more data for you.
You know what, guys? I think I need to go see what he is up to now. Hey, babe, what you doing?
Just getting the clutch ready for my test.
Yeah, just getting the clutch ready.
Yeah. Just getting ready.
What's that?
Got a big old test for the clutch going on here.
Yeah, what's this?
I have no idea how we got back out there.
No idea, huh?
Let's see this focus. So I changed the bolt on, or the little weight on the weights all to the heel. Removing the primary spring drops the RPMs a little bit, and we had fine-tuned it down to the correct RPMs. We dropped the weight from this hole down to this hole on the two weights that didn't already have it there. And so what that will do is allow for a little bit quicker. I just wanted to show, see if the focus is in here, the wear on these weights. Look how little wear is on that weight. Yeah. Now you can see where the coating has started to kind of polish itself in there, but there's no actual wear on the base metal, and so it just kind of is going to polish it up a little bit. So these will last a whole lot longer. So this is the first real test with the new setup. Going to go ahead and load you up on the cage, and we're going to take off. Here we go. second test on the new weight setup, and we're gonna take it a little bit farther, kind of backed off a little bit. They're not gonna know this is where all the power came from. Man, what a great idea. No one's gonna know. This is...
You know that's not how that...
Oh.
Never mind.
All right, now it's time to discuss the results.
So, we have all of our data that we've been collecting from all of our testing of the performance modifications. And so we have added our newest modification, which is the JBS clutch mods, the reduction, as well as the secondary spring. So the last mod we did before this one, of course, was the JBS weights, and we had tuned those up until we got in the proper RPM range for the maximum power. And the JBS weights are really good for that. There's a lot of adjustability in them for different sizes of tires, elevation, etc. And you can tune them in really nicely for the proper power and RPM range that you want. All right, our fastest run at 60 feet was 2.41 seconds. Our eighth of a mile was 11.07 seconds at 58.93 miles per hour. Our 0 to 60 time was 11.47 seconds. Our 1,000 feet was 14.75 seconds at 65.09 miles per hour. Our quarter mile was 17.98 seconds at 69.10 miles per hour. And then our top speed was actually 70 miles per hour. And that was pretty consistent no matter how we tuned the clutch, it was at 70 miles per hour. So, what does that mean? That means if we scroll down here, we have our net gains and losses, and we actually deducted on our 60 feet 0.0 seconds. So we got 0.0 seconds faster at our 60 feet. We got 0.02 seconds faster on our eighth of a mile, as well as picking up 0.71 miles per hour at that eighth of a mile. Our 0 to 60, we deducted 0.67 seconds, which is pretty big, I would say. And then our 1,000 feet, we deducted 0.22 seconds, and we gained 2.13 miles per hour. And our quarter mile, we deducted 0.23 seconds, and we gained 2.94 miles per hour. And then our top speed, we actually gained 3 miles per hour over our previous mods. And so if you look at this, you'll actually notice that we got faster than stock. So when we went through this testing, we noticed that we lost significant performance from going to the Badass belt, which the Badass belt, a lot of people recommend, but it will make you slower. That's what we found out from that testing. But if you look, our 60 feet is exactly the same as stock. Our eighth of a mile was a little bit faster stock, but then our 0 to 60 was faster with the clutch mod. Our 1,000 foot was faster with the clutch mod. Our quarter mile was also faster with the clutch mod. And then we also picked up top speed, which is just crazy from a gear reduction and those modifications that he made, that we picked up 3 miles per hour over our top speed with the stock and 35-inch tires. Picked up everywhere, basically. Performance and speed and takeoff power. And it also feels a lot more confident in the trails and stuff like that. Didn't find myself putting in low gear on a lot of the climbs and stuff that we did on our last trip here at Wellsville. And there's some crazy climbs at Wellsville. I was in high most of the time. So really confident with the high gear, and the low gear just crawls really, really well. Didn't notice any real slipping or anything at all with the 35-inch tires and this mod. So Really, really good. I highly recommend it. And you can see we gained actual speed and the low crawling gear from this modification. So you really can't go wrong with it. I hope you enjoyed this test video. We wanted to try our best to be consistent with our testing across all of our modifications. And so that's what we did here with our clutch. We wanted to show you the actual data from the change between before the clutching and after the clutching, as well as tuning it to the peak performance that we could get out of it. That ended up being 1 on the heel and 1 just the spot out of the heel, which was the same results as with just the clutch weights. So that's what we have, and that's what we're running currently. You know, there's a lot of information swirling around on the internet. What's faster? Is this faster? Is this junk? Is this good? All this stuff, right? All this information. It can get really confusing. So that's why we wanted to show you the actual data and also have some fun with it at the same time. That's what we're gonna be doing for all of our testing videos though. We're gonna be showing the actual data, whether it gets faster or slower, it doesn't really matter to us. We wanna show the actual honest to goodness data with regard to each of these performance mods. Does JBS clutch make you slower? I think we proved that that is a big fat whopping no. It actually makes you faster across the whole entire range when it's properly tuned. Not only do we pick up performance throughout the whole entire range, but the machine drives a lot more confidently. We aren't really slipping the belt much anymore at all, and we do a lot of hardcore rock crawls and hill climbs and trail riding and stuff like that. It just made that whole experience much better. That is an A+ in my opinion for the performance and just the drivability. Going with the reduction, going with the primary spring removed, and going with the secondary spring added. You know, we could get caught up in all the details about how it works and all of that, but it just plain old works, and I think we've proven that today. So I'll post the link down in the description where you can find these mods. It's gonna be at JBS Performance. He can hook you up, give him a call, let him know what you're trying to get at, and he'll help you out. Let us know down in the comments if you would like to see anything different out of our testing, or if you have any suggestions on what we should test out next. We really enjoy making these kind of Mythbusters type videos and showing the actual data from these performance mods. Let us know down in the comments if there's anything that you would like us to add to our list for testing. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe for more great content. See you next time.
Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I don't lie at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning.